high school football, you just never know what you're going to get. Once he tucks it in, it's all about quickness, moves, and speed.
Malcolm Crispin, like he was shot out of a cannon.
Once he breaks the line of scrimmage, you've got problems defensively.
Now it's Keyshawn over the right side, showing off his speed.
Harris has had the game of his life here. Give the freshman all the credit that with that.
They got their money's worth here tonight. What a game here at White Stadium. Hello, Boston, and welcome to O'Brien High School in Roxbury as we bring you a matchup in the Boston North Division, as this afternoon the English Eagles are visiting the O'Brien Tigers. Hello, everybody. I'm Pat Flaherty, joined by my partner, as always, Alan Platt. And, Alan, we have two teams that have sort of in different positions this season. O'Brien, very young this year, graduated a lot of seniors. Meanwhile, you got the Boston English Eagles, who have a lot of good players that came back from the last couple of seasons.
Well, you're right. It's a sort of a unusual situation. You have the Boston North, two of the top teams in the city, okay, on the top of the division.
That's right.
And then we have these two, at the bottom of the division. Mainly O'Brien's really struggling this year. A lot of young players. They have up to 24 of their players are either freshmen or sophomores.
That's right.
That doesn't bode well in terms of a record, because a lot of inexperience, and basically the O'Brien Tigers looking for their first win.
That's right. Yeah, coming in 0-3 on the season. Meanwhile, Boston English 2-2. They're set to go here at O'Brien. They're not wasting any time. O'Brien in the all-black uniforms with the blue and white trim. Boston English in the white uniforms with the blue and navy trim. Keyshawn Kerr and Vattel back to receive for the Boston English Eagles. One of those players returning for Boston English is Keyshawn Kerr. He's been the starting running back for the last 2 years, starting in the sophomore season. But it's Vattel who couldn't field it cleanly, now picks it up right around the 14-yard line. Vattel is then gang tackled at the 20-yard line. And if you're O'Brien, and you've had a rough start to the season, one thing you do like seeing is that kickoff coverage. But now we have an O'Brien player down on the turf.
When the players went down.
As we wait for the injury update here for the Tigers, let's go to our sideline reporter, Seth Orensky, who's got an update for us. Seth, what's happening?
Guys, O'Brien sophomore quarterback Kendrell Gilbert will be making his first high school start of the season today after Omar Larama chipped a collarbone last week. Head coach Kevin Gadsden and O'Brien has a lot of confidence in their coaching staff to bring along a young quarterback, and they pointed to Luke Maffeo, who was the starting quarterback last season, and for each of the past 4 years, it's a great example. Luke started on JV, they brought him up, and he started as on the varsity team as a 9th grader and did a great job. Right now with Kendrell, it's not a question of if he's going to be ready, but when he's going to be ready. They said they're going to have some growing pains, but they have a lot of confidence in their staff and Kendrell to be a really strong player for this O'Brien team this year. Guys?
Seth, thanks very much. So, O'Brien comes in with an injured quarterback. They're already young at the position, already inexperienced with Omar Larama, who was the starter for the first 3 games of the season. He actually has a chipped bone in his collarbone, and now sophomore quarterback Kendrell Gilbert is the starter, as Seth mentioned.
Like we said, one of the many sophomores on this roster.
So Gilbert now thrust into the starting position. They're the starters for Boston English, as it's Mark Osario, who comes back from the spring season as the quarterback. Keyshawn Kerr, been a starter since his sophomore year. Howard, the big fullback. Gethers, who's a Swiss Army knife for this team. And Michael McClure, if they throw the football his way, it's going to be fun to watch, to say the least.
Big hands.
Big hands, about 6'3". Outside receiver, not right now at the bottom of your screen. On first down from the 21-yard line for Boston English. They hand it off to Keyshawn Kerr, and he picks up 2 on the play up to the 23-yard line.
Yeah, thinking back to what is at this point close to 2 years ago, the last time we saw English, Kerr was one of the most impressive runners in the city.
That's right.
He had a great game over at English's home field.
Yeah, Keyshawn's one of those runners who can kind of take it the distance if he finds any kind of running room, especially on the edge. But they're just a 2-yard pickup on first down, so it'll be 2nd down and 8 now for Boston English. As we mentioned, English 2-2 on the season, but in their 2 losses, they lost to Chelsea earlier in the year by just 6 points. And then against East Boston last week, they lost by 4.
16-12, right?
That's right.
Tight game.
They missed just their 2-point conversions, and that was the difference in the game.
And we didn't even do the game, so they can't blame us.
That's right. It's not our fault. Now on second down, Osorio looking to run an option play, and now we have an early whistle before the play even gets going. We got a false start.
We talked about how both these teams have struggled a bit. O'Brien mainly, they've been giving up over 30 points a game, and they're barely scoring a touchdown a game. So those are the signs, unfortunately, that you see when you have this much youth. A lot of sophomores, a couple of freshmen thrown in, very few seniors to really lean on.
That's right.
I know Kevin Gadsden for years, and he's not used to this type of situation.
No, O'Brien's been a very competitive team since Coach Gadsden's got there. So this is new territory for the Tigers. Second down and 12 now for English over the middle, looking for McClure, and they break up the pass right there at 35-yard line.
It's a good pass. I think McClure might have, it was double covered, but it looked like he might have actually had his vision blocked. So you see the safety come in. The safety actually made that play.
Look like Lamar Slayton and Jolens Pierre-Louis in there on the stop. So good first defensive possession for O'Brien so far. Now English facing with a 3rd and 12 from the 19-yard line.
I'll say it's good to see a huge crowd here, even though the O'Brien team has been struggling so much this season so far. A lot of enthusiasm.
It's Osorio on the quarterback keeper. He's got enough for the first down and more. Mark Osorio with a good-looking run up to the 46-yard line. Make that the 47.
And that's the value of Kevin Kerr. You actually, he made a fake to Kerr going right. Watch, there's a fake right there, and then he comes back left. That entire side of the field is wide open because the defense for O'Brien had all leaned toward Kerr. Like you said, Pat, that 16-12 loss to East Boston. We saw East Boston. We've seen them. We know how good they can be, and they love to score. So obviously English is doing pretty well on both sides of the ball.
East and Latin Academy, 2 unbeaten teams squaring off tonight. Now on first down, it's Kerr who gets the carry. Keyshawn, nice cut up the field. Now back to the outside goes Keyshawn Kerr. He's finally tripped up well into O'Brien territory at the 37-yard line.
Yeah, on this drive, we're seeing the offensive line for English take control after they start out with a procedure penalty. But after that, the last 2 runs, one by Kerr and one by the quarterback, and they're in English territory.
16-yard run there for Keyshawn Kerr. Another first down for Boston English, now from the O'Brien 37. Handoff again inside. This time it looks like it's Howard on the carry.
Yeah, Jamari Howard. Both running backs for English have decent size. I mean, Howard is listed 6'2", 170. Kerr is a little smaller, but a lot quicker.
Howard more of a between the tackles runner. Picks up 2 yards on first down. It'll be second down and 8 now for Boston English from the O'Brien 35.
Yeah, one of the biggest challenges for O'Brien when you have a young team, inexperienced, it's tough to keep all these things going in your head and still react to the football, especially with English having 3 good running backs.
Terrell Geathers, the man in motion there for Boston English. They hand off to Kerr again, and Kerr tries to stay on his feet, but coming across to make the tackle there for O'Brien was number 26, Zaven Larama.
Yeah, Eric Barnes actually forced Kerr to try to go outside. Watch. Kerr actually rolled a little bit before his knee hit, so he still got a couple yards out of it.
My apologies. That was Isaiah George who came across to make that tackle, the sophomore linebacker, who's also the backup quarterback, or one of the backup quarterbacks. So third down and 6 after the 2-yard gain from Keyshawn Kerr. Rosario over the middle. Nice looking catch there for Boston English. As it looked like that was
a nice arm.
Nadim Vattel coming up with the catch. So we talked a lot about Malachi McClure, but Vattel also a good receiver.
McClure's already drawing double coverage. He has a safety rolling over to his side along with the cornerback.
So the Boston English Eagles pick up a first down, now at the 24-yard line. Rosario over to Malachi. This time he's able to catch the football. Big fella still on his feet and is then wrestled down right around the 14-yard line.
Again, good pass into coverage, but the size of McClure goes up in the air to get it. You see the two defenders, and a little undersized for the defenders, but McClure, he's 6'3", 185. He's a junior, so.
9-yard gain on that pass reception by McClure, so it'll be 2nd and 1 now for the English Eagles from the O'Brien 14-yard line. They run the end around, or the sweep rather, with Keyshawn Kerr. Kerr knifes it up the field. We got a flag on the play.
It's going to come back, yeah.
Looks like it's in holding territory.
Yeah, it was well designed, though. I mean, they put Kerr in motion, and you have that timing handoff from the snap. He's already in full stride by the time he's trying to hit the sideline.
Six.
Yeah, Kerr's a good runner. He really is a good runner.
Anderson Guerrero, the one called for the holding penalty. So that'll back Boston English up to the 25-yard line.
It'll help the O'Brien defense a little bit, help them catch their breath. They've been on their heels this whole drive.
2nd down and 12 now for Boston English after the penalty. Man in motion was Kerr. Osario over the right side.
Well,
picked off.
Oh!
Almost.
You call it, Pat. Maybe you jinxed him.
I think I
he
did.
Saw the entire field in front of him.
Oh yeah, I thought that was a pick six.
That was going to be a pick long six.
Lamari Slayton almost had it.
Watch this one. This is unbelievable. Yeah, he's thinking about the sideline. Yeah, he did not look the ball into his hand like they always tell you.
That's right.
Especially the defensive backs. Look the ball into your hand before you try to take off.
He's a starting receiver as well, so
wow.
he'll be ribbed for that when they watch film later on. He would have been gone. He would have been gone if he caught that.
We had the angle. It was right in front of us.
Yep.
Everything else was to the opposite side of the field.
He made a nice pass drop as well. He was right in the position.
Just got to hope he keeps his head in the game for these next couple of plays. That they have a chance now to take advantage of that holding penalty, incomplete pass.
O'Brien calls a timeout here in the first quarter. Our sideline reporter Seth Orensky has an update for us. Seth, what do you got?
Thanks, guys. One injury update for Boston English. They're without their left tackle, Jomani Rivera, who was injured yesterday in practice. So Malik Williams, who was practicing with the JV team until halfway through the offensive practice yesterday, gets the start today at left tackle. Head coach Ryan Conway says we just need to lather him up and see just how good he can be. The one thing he knows is they're going to run a little bit less to the left side, push the ball on the right side where they have a little bit more confidence and experience with their right tackle. So that's one thing to watch for a Boston English team that's off to a good start offensively in this one. Guys?
Seth, thanks very much. Tough position to lose during practice, your left tackle. Rivera, just a sophomore, but Boston English very excited about him as a young offensive lineman. But he'll be out with this one, as Seth just mentioned.
Well, Osario as a quarterback can roll out and throw, so you can make some adjustments. Because you're right, left tackle, that's usually the quarterback's blind side. So all levels of football put a decent athlete or your biggest kid at left tackle, one or the other.
So coming out of the timeout, 3rd and 13 for Boston English. Make that 3rd and 12, excuse me. They hand off to Kerr again. This time Keyshawn stopped right in his tracks, might have lost a yard. Nope, they wrestle him down right at the line of scrimmage. So no gain on the play there for Keyshawn Kerr. Boston English now faced with a 4th and 12.
This is what I was talking about. This is an opportunity for the defense for O'Brien to possibly get the ball on downs if they can stop this 4th down play. Gotta watch the quarterback. He's a run and throwing threat. This is usually Malachi McClure territory.
Long drive here for Boston English. This will be their 11th play on this opening possession. Osario back to throw. Had some rushers. They call, they throw a flag, and that's going to be a hands to the face penalty on the defense, possibly a face mask.
I wonder if he had his helmet snap. It came off so quick. It was
right.
Still a personal foul, though.
He definitely got hit to the face, too, so he might have a...
Wow, and it's an automatic first down.
Huge penalty there for O'Brien. Here it is right here. Yep, big face mask penalty there. As the face mask is taken off, and then Osario got hit in the face in the process.
It looks like he actually got hit with the helmet as it was coming off. Because he was trying to hold his face even before the helmet was all the way off.
So it's just a 5-yard gain there for Boston English, but it is an automatic first down. So it's going to be 1st and 10 for the English Eagles. Still waiting for them to change
English
the
is trying to
down
question
marker.
this because initially it was signaled as a personal foul. I think English sideline wants to know why there wasn't more yardage involved, since it was whistled as a personal foul.
No, but if you're pumping up 25 papers, you want to do something together.
The referee today, Earl Garrett. We've had him a couple of times this season so far.
Earl's been following us.
Yeah, well, he's going to think we're following him.
Yeah,
right?
that's what he'll tell us.
So, yeah, I guess.
That's the federation rule. That's different.
Okay, Earl's telling English it's a federation rule, which is different from what we're used to. Okay, that explains it.
Coach Conway is not happy, and nor are many of the high school coaches.
Well, what
about
happens
these
is
new
normally
rules.
you get 15 yards plus the first down.
Right.
So you'd be deeper into territory and have the first down back.
Okay.
But now they have actually added some yardage.
They have. So now it's 4th and 2. So English has got to get the first down here, and their backup quarterback wrapped up in the backfield. So Bryant's going to get the football back, as that was Denzel Pierre, the backup quarterback, who had to go in for Mark Osario. Here's another look at it as.
Well, backup quarterback, well, you're always ready to play, but you don't think you're going to play in the first quarter.
Yeah, no chance on that one.
Timing's a little off. Well, O'Brien gave up a couple of big plays from scrimmage defensively, but then they made a couple of nice stops. So they sort of earned their first position.
Here are the starters for the Tigers. Gilbert, the sophomore quarterback, in there, starting for the first time. Pierre Lewis and DeRosa Hampton are the running backs. Slayton, the wide receiver. Jamari Williams, the tight end. Jamari, pretty explosive player, especially for a tight end. He's got good size, has a couple touchdowns already this season. He's the one guy that English might want to key on here this evening. Now on first down. Handoff up the middle. Nice looking run here for O'Brien. As that was Jolens Pierre Lewis with the carry. Also got a flag on the play.
The face mask?
And that's a hold on the Tigers.
Okay. And again, we talked about the struggles O'Brien's had, and like I said, they're averaging like a touchdown a game. That's about it. Meanwhile, they're averaging giving up close to 30 points a game. I mean, the only good thing about a situation like this for O'Brien is you have young players. The ones who are playing a lot are going to grow into their positions during the course of the season. And especially because Kevin Gatson does have a veteran assistant coaching staff. So they know how to teach and coach guys up.
You see Gilbert with that touchdown pass to Williams back when they played Boston Latin. 1st and 14 now for the O'Brien Tigers. They give it to Pierre Lewis again, and he makes his way up to the 25-yard line. Make that the 26. So a 3-yard gain there on 1st down. It'll be 2nd down and 11 now for the Tigers.
Let's watch again. You see he's trying to go off tackle. Yeah, Elijah Hampton was the player injured on the opening kickoff. Hurt his elbow. Haven't seen him back yet.
Yeah, we'll see if he's able to get back in there at some
he's
point.
On the
for
sideline.
O'Brien.
See him on the sideline here.
Now on 2nd down, they try to run the end around, and Boston
there.
English snuffs it out. Big time loss on the play for O'Brien.
Well, we always talk about how it starts up front. If you can't get a good push, a good blocking scheme up front, all these players are going to blow up. You see 5 English players all over the running back who's just trying a simple reverse.
Yeah, that was Jamari Williams who they were trying on the reverse and trying to get their playmaker out in space, but not much room for him. So a 7-yard loss there for Williams. 3rd down and 18 now for O'Brien.
He's listed at 230, 6'1", 230. As you mentioned before, he played offensive line a little
That's
bit.
right.
Yeah.
Last year they needed him at offensive line out of necessity, but his true position is tight end. Williams now the man in motion.
Yeah, I think we got procedure again. Looked like they might have had a little too much motion going on. They only have 1 player in motion before the snap.
So it'll be a 5-yard loss on the penalty. So it'll be 3rd and 23 now for O'Brien.
I think we're seeing a combination. We talk about the inexperience in young players, but it's also just some anxiety in terms of you're in front of a big crowd. There was a really nice ceremony before the game dedicating to this newly renovated field. So with all that going on, you want to come out and play well. O'Brien's just had, I think they have some opening jitters on offense.
That's too bad because they did have a defensive stand to halt this English offensive team, but offensively, O'Brien's really struggling here. 3rd and 23 now. They hand off to, looked like it was Pierre Lewis, but I couldn't quite see the number.
Yeah, you're not getting any kind of push up front at all. You're right, that was pretty, yeah.
So Pierre Lewis picks up just 1 yard on the play. It'll be 4th and 22 now for O'Brien.
Yeah, see, the handoff is so deep in the backfield for O'Brien that he has to work just to get back to the line of scrimmage first.
The Tigers will have to punt the football here on 4th and 22. Pierre Lewis back to punt for the Tigers. Keyshawn Kerr back to receive for Boston English. Almost blocked, but Pierre Lewis able to get it off. Then it's fielded by Boston English right around the 32-yard line.
Good job by Guerrero. I mean, he was actually one of the blocking backs, sort of halfway in receiving coverage, and caught that out around a bunch of the defenders for O'Brien, giving English really good field position.
Yeah, they have English marked down right now at the 27-yard line. So just a 14-yard punt, but also a little bit of a return.
This might be the end of the quarter, actually. We don't have a clock today.
That's right.
So it's being kept on the field. But the end of the quarter.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
So that'll do it here for the first quarter at O'Brien High School in Roxbury. No score between the Boston English Eagles and O'Brien Tigers. Folks, we're going to head to break. When we come back, we will have the second quarter here on Game of the Week right after these words.
Hey world, I have a quick message. It's about safe driving. All right, let's go. Anytime you're driving, have the seatbelt buckle tight. Both hands on the wheel and your phone out of sight. When not in your hand, trying to text somebody back. Because if you do, your car might get smacked. The moral of the story, just put your phone down. The people on the road will stay safe and sound. Put your phone down, put your phone down. People on the road will stay safe and sound. Yeah.
Welcome back to O'Brien High School here with a Boston North matchup between the Boston English Eagles and the O'Brien Tigers. No score after the first quarter. Our sideline reporter Seth Orensky has an update for us. Seth, what do you got?
Guys, good news for Boston English. Mark Osorio, their quarterback, who had to come out after that hit to the head. It was just a bloody nose. He should be back in. Not as great news on the opposite side for O'Brien. It looks like John Aljo, who suffered an injury in that first quarter, they've wrapped his hand. He's probably done for the day. One of the team's many running back options out of the backfield. Guys, take it away.
Thanks so much, Seth. So Osorio back in, but one of the injured players for O'Brien still out with a sore wrist.
Aljo, number 7. He's actually one of their starters. Yeah.
So English now with the football at the 27-yard line of O'Brien. Osorio, nowhere to go with the football, and he is sacked in the backfield.
Yeah, English actually sent a blitz. It was a 26 right there. I missed the tackle, but forced Osorio to try to run it.
And Jamari Williams coming across to make the sack there for O'Brien.
Xavier Larama, the freshman. Talks about the freshmen and sophomores on this O'Brien team.
5-yard loss on the play, so it'll be second down and 15 now for Boston English.
Yeah, O'Brien trying to make some things happen on defense, that time sending a blitzer. Got there, just couldn't make the tackle, but did his part to force the quarterback to abandon the pass.
Second and 15 now for the Eagles. The handoff up the gut.
Ooh, wide open.
Gathers down the right sideline, and he's shoved out of bounds. Huge hole down the sideline for Terrell Gathers, the senior, and he is going to be marked down at the 6-yard line.
Talk about looking like a running back out of the starting blocks. Because he wasn't touched near the line of scrimmage, the free safety, the last man there, Lamar Slayton, had to push him out of bounds.
First and goal now for Boston English, and Gathers plows his way in for a touchdown.
Yeah, Terrell's one of the seniors on this English high team.
Yeah, Boston English likes to move him around the formation, but that time 2 big runs from the senior running back, and he plows it in for 6 here for Boston English.
Simple handoff. So after that short punt, 3 plays, 27 yards. English gets their first punch of the game.
Hey, we're good, guys. We're good. I got that. That's me.
Nice, back up, please.
Going for 2 points.
You guys will be interfered.
Inside leverage on that. Hey, Jojo, inside leverage.
As we mentioned, Eagles struggled to get the 2-point conversions last week against East Boston. The rugby scrum with Osorio, and he did get in for the 2-pointer.
No problem with that one.
Hey, I'm sending you a rice cake, fat boy. Hey, my twin. Hey, you know to check all English right.
There's another look at the Osorio 2-point conversion that was running.
Straight ahead, safest playing football. No handoff, just straight ahead. And Osorio has shown us he's a decent runner. Good to see him bounce back from a bloody nose. A lot of times you get concerned about, well, did I break my nose? Is it dislocated? How do I look? It's Friday.
Yeah. I got places to be after the game.
Exactly right. I got plans after the game. Yeah.
So Boston English scores first. They get the touchdown and the 2-point conversion. They're now on top 8-0 over O'Brien after the short punt that was returned at the end of the first quarter. We'll see if the Tigers now with maybe some better field position and maybe a decent return here.
Hopefully,
on
man.
Special teams can get something going.
They need a big play. We say it all the
That's
time.
right.
Teams that come in under, well, inexperienced, we should say. Very young, just need a big play because they're going to be emotional on both ways, with the high and with lows. So like you're saying, a good return here could help set their offense up.
Put it right over there. On the wire. That way
English
you
has
can
the
see it.
football flat, similar to what East Boston does all the time. No kicking tee. Oh, it's going to be an
English
onside
tries
kick.
an onside kick, and nice job
Good job,
recovering
yeah.
there for O'Brien by 55 of the Tigers.
One of the up blockers did an excellent job on that. Good save.
That's Jamar Pettit home. Or Homey with
He's only a
the
sophomore.
recovery.
Watch the top of your screen. You'll see him come in. Good job. Just pounce on it. We've seen East Boston over the years take advantage of that squib kick. That one was a straight onside kick, trying to catch O'Brien sleeping.
Yeah, head coach Ryan Conway of Boston English, a longtime assistant for East Boston. Now on first down is Pierre Lewis. Nice little shake there, trying to run out of a jersey tackle as he's going to be marked down past midfield up to about the English 48-yard line. Make that the 49, excuse me.
After that kind of run, he'll be asking Coach Gadsden, can I cut the bottom of my jersey, please?
Right. Can I get that Earl Campbell tearaway
Right.
jersey?
Because he had some room if he could have got away from that first pull.
I actually thought he got a little bit further than that 49.
It looked like as he was running in place.
That's right. 2nd and 8 now for the O'Brien Tigers from the English 49-yard line. Again, it's Pierre Lewis on first down. This time he gets wrapped up at the line of scrimmage. Coming across was Howard on the tackle.
Again, Lewis, the sophomore running back. These are all good snaps for him. Good experience to get out there. And so he's lost what he gained in the first down, so now it's going to be 3rd and close to 10.
Actually he lost 2 yards on the play, so it'll be 3rd and 10 now for the Tigers. In that pistol formation. 3 receivers to the top of your screen. Gilbert back to throw. Throws it over the middle. Pass broken up.
Really
that
good
time
timing
by Boston English. That's
There you go.
Nadeem Vattel again with the pass breakup for the Eagles.
That was really good timing by Vattel. Made sure it wasn't interference, but a hard enough hit to take away the possible completion.
Looking for David Barbosa over the middle. So after the incomplete pass, Tigers will have to punt the football once again. Pierre Lewis back to kick. Keyshawn Kerr back to receive. End over end punt. Rolls down to about the 23-yard line. Kerr picks it up. And he's tackled at the 25. We got a flag on the play as well. Might be a block in the back, as we saw. I saw one of the Tigers go flying. 28-yard punt.
Both times that we've seen O'Brien punt, English has put pressure on the punter, coming real close to getting a block.
We also got a flag on the far side of the field as well, near the English bench.
That looks like I think you're right, probably a block in the back.
Wait a minute.
Where's
Wait
Earl?
a minute.
Earl say.
We got illegal procedure on you on black.
Uh-oh. So it's going to be
where's the other
offsetting
flag?
penalties. Too bad.
They're just going to kick it again.
Yeah.
On white.
See, the flag you saw on the opposite side, that's for procedure.
Illegal procedure, right?
It's too bad. Because it would have put English deep in their own territory, but now
We have illegal procedure on 9 black. So we're going to re-kick.
yeah, it's kind of. And these are the things that happen. These when
Right,
you, when
especially with the younger guys.
When you're having the younger kids, you're having a bad season so far, and all these. Some of them call them mental mistakes. You know, physical mistakes as well as mental mistakes, and you're trying to learn your position. You're trying to learn your assignments. Even a play like that, that could have been a bit of a bright spot in terms of backing English up in their own territory. Procedure makes it a repeat the down.
4th and 10 now for O'Brien, and once again they'll punt the football. As the penalty's offset, they'll reset and do it all over again.
Let's watch this blocking now because they get good pressure last time.
A little bit of a high snap. Pierre Lewis, kind of a line drive kick, still rolling there for O'Brien, and Kerr's going to stay away from this one. And English will take over at the 24-yard line. So actually a 2-yard improvement there for O'Brien.
They're lucky there was no return at all.
So 27-yard kick there for Pierre Lewis, and that's where Boston English will take over here in the second quarter. I think for these younger teams that are still, rebuilding, essentially is what O'Brien's doing right now. You got to look for those little victories and defensive stops and good plays on special teams.
That's exactly what you're looking for. And again, like I said, I mentioned earlier that there's a veteran coaching staff here at O'Brien under Kevin Gatson. So I think you sort of have to work your way through playing all these sophomores and a couple of freshmen for this season, hoping that next year they'll come back ready to sort of make up and improve on this year. They actually had a good fall season because some of the seniors were still around. Fall 2, yeah.
Yeah, the fall 2 season, they had a solid year. Osorio back to throw down the right sideline. McClure looking for the football, couldn't find it.
English sideline coach asking for interference. But both players went up for the football, so I think that's why I let it go. There was some contact, but you're right there, a little bit of contact, but they're both going for the ball. Actually, they landed out of bounds. I'm not even sure if it was catchable.
Right, it's tough to see it from our angle, but it looked like it was well out of bounds on that throw. Going back to Coach Gadsden.
He got good arm. Yeah.
Go back to Coach Gadsden and the coaching staff, too. They're actually excited about this season. They're excited to teach again, to teach young guys the fundamentals of football. And, sometimes, coaches won't say it publicly, but they don't love coaching the younger guys because it just takes them a while.
Right.
This coaching staff's very excited to coach.
Well, I think they're seeing some potential. And even though you have a lot of young kids, apparently they're committed to staying with it.
Now they're going to Kerr here on 2nd and 10. Keyshawn, always so patient, wiggles off a couple of defenders and then makes his way up to about the 37-yard line.
So yeah, he had good blocking up front. One of his teammates kicked out the cornerback that gave him plenty of room. Watch the right of your screen. You might see it. Right there. I'm sorry. It's right in front of him, actually. It was Guerrero. Anderson Guerrero had the main block to allow Keyshawn to just run right up his back. That's a good point you're making, though, about O'Brien and the coaching staff and the young players. A lot of times, we talked already about Charlestown, who decided not to have a team. Out South Boston's had problems with numbers up until this year.
That's right.
So at least if you can get the kids to commit to keep playing, they can always get better.
Short run there on 2nd down for English as they make their way up to the 41-yard line. Looked like that was Kerr on the carry. Excuse me, that was Terrell Gathers on the carry, pick up a 3. The other thing, too, is during the fall 2 season, we talked to a lot of the coaches, and they said, we're doing this for the seniors. They're trying to get this season in for the seniors. They didn't have a lot of time to teach. They didn't have a lot of chance to teach any of their players. So now that they get to teach, I think it's kind of like reinvigorating them.
Very different, yeah. Yeah, because O'Brien had the quarterback, Maffeo, was really good.
That's right.
But he's able to finish his career off at the fall 2 season.
Osorio on 2nd down and 7 runs for a 1st down for Boston English. They mark him out at midfield, 12-yard gain on the play.
Yeah. Hadn't seen him before today, but he's showing some good running skills. Nice in and out fake right there, gets to the sideline. Sees the 1st down marker, makes sure he gets that.
I knew Osorio could throw the football, but he's a good runner.
He is. Yeah. Okay, on the sideline, like we were just talking about, one of the sophomores, Rockland Clark, is being talked to by the defensive coordinator because Rockland lost contain and allowed Osorio to get around him.
Now on 1st down for Boston English. They run it with Gathers over the left side. Excellent pursuit.
Good pursuit.
And setting the edge that time was Elijah DeRosa Hampton, one of the few seniors on this team, coming up as an outside linebacker.
A late flag on the play, too. Let's see if we can find out what the flag is. You see Gathers already has 1 touchdown. Well, the tackle looked all right. I don't know. Unless the official thought that he got the helmet.
2-yard gain for the moment. See what the penalty is.
He might have picked it up.
Okay. What's the number?
I think the linesman telling Earl that he picked it up. No, they're walking off. I'm sorry. Holding on English, yeah.
I think Earl Garrett actually just said block in the back, which is...
Right, okay.
They mark it off from the spot of the foul back to the 43-yard line.
Well, you know, in the past, Pat, we've seen teams having bad seasons, no wins, and just not playing. It's playing sort of lethargic, just not really 100%. That's not the case here. With this O'Brien team, they're swarming, they're going after defensively. As a matter of fact, the big plays against them have been all misdirection. They've gotten fooled because of their aggression, but they're playing.
Garrett just threw another flag. I'm not sure if that's on.
That might be unsportsmanlike. Or
Coach Conway for coming all the way on the field.
After the play.
Okay, I think they were trying to sort out whether it was something after the play, after the whistle.
Yeah, they got to sort this out.
It looks like English called a
Did you
timeout.
call timeout? Okay.
Timeout, Boston English, as the referee sort out what just happened there. So we had
Well,
a dead ball
definitely
foul.
there's a late flag thrown. I couldn't tell if it was thrown right at the end of the play or if it was after the play. So they got to figure it out.
Folks, if you want to follow us on social media, you can certainly go to our Facebook page. Go to facebook.com/Game of the Week Boston. We have a lot of updates on which games we're going to be covering on our Facebook page, along with posting links and different videos of some of the games that we're covering. So make sure you check us out and like us on Facebook. You can also follow us on Twitter at Boston City TV. We post updates about which games we're going to be covering there as well, and also the links to watch the game live on YouTube. So make sure you follow us on Twitter. If you want to ask us a question, give us a comment, make sure you use the hashtag BostonGOW.
Okay, so now they've picked the flag up.
Right,
So
and
the ball's going to go back
to the
back to the end of the run. So, the lineman was talking to one of the coaches over here on the O'Brien sideline, and I saw the coach nodding his head in agreement to whatever it was, and I think that's when he decided he was going to pick it up.
So that'll be 2nd down and 8.
Now Kevin
Boston
Gadsden
English.
wants to know how it got picked up, or why it got picked up.
It's actually 2nd down and 7 now, as they've marked it down at the 47-yard line of O'Brien. And Coach Gadsden's now
he's
saying,
out there with he wants every yard he can get. Believe me, to try to help his defense.
I need a refresher on these federation rules. Anytime there's a penalty, I have no idea where they're going to spot the football.
Well, I'll tell you, and it's become like a bailout for all the officials.
Right.
Whatever he's getting yelled at, they say it's federation, it's federation.
Osorio gets the 1st down and more. He's gang tackled at the 36-yard line. 11-yard gain there for Osorio and a 1st down for Boston English.
He's like a 4th running back. It's like
as if they didn't have enough.
Good control of the football. Once he gets hit, still driving. He runs like a running back.
He does. Runs hard.
Okay.
Another flag on the play.
I mean, you know at this point, since the play is so close to the O'Brien sideline, the O'Brien coaches are yelling out any infraction that they see,
That's
hoping
right.
they can draw a flag.
That's a holding penalty on Boston English. I'll wait to see where they spot the football. That is a spot foul, so wherever the holding penalty occurs, they'll move it back 10 yards.
I'm just wondering if English isn't sort of feeling like, well, these guys haven't won a game. There are a lot of young kids, smaller size kids, but yeah, English is, well, they get the 8-0 lead, but still, they.
2nd down and 17 now as they move it back to the 43-yard line.
Kerr again.
Keyshawn Kerr tries to spin out of a tackle. Nice job by the Tigers defense.
Again, 55. We saw him on the kickoff. That was Petit Ham, and there, one of the sophomores. See that? A player like this, watch 55 right there. He gets fooled on the handoff, but then he recovers to get Kerr. Now that's someone to be excited about. He's got decent size. He's 6'1", about 200 pounds. So as a sophomore, you're looking at the rest of the season plus at least 2 more good seasons that he can develop.
That's right. Yes, Jamari Williams in on a tackle as well. Jamari's just a junior, so you got him coming back next year as well.
I mean, there are definitely different ways you can look at a down season, because obviously there's different reasons. You lose your seniors, that's always the first and foremost. Even if you have injury problems, if you have other reasons why players don't come back to play, that's not the case here. This is a youth movement pretty much for O'Brien.
Yeah, it's one of those things you just can't do anything about it until it happens, and that's what this coaching staff's going to work with. Osario keeps it himself on the option play. And Osario scampers all the way to the 38-yard line. That's going to be a 1st down, but we do have another flag, because this has been the quarter of flags here in the 2nd quarter.
What was it, 2 weeks ago, we actually had a game that had no flags in the entire 1st quarter.
That's right.
And then for the rest of the game, they were flying everywhere.
That would have been a 22-yard run by Osario, but that's wiped out after this penalty. They're going to spot the foul at the 43 of O'Brien.
Wow. That's going to help
move
the
it back
defense.
to the 47 of Boston English. So it must have been a hold right there at the 43-yard line. So a 10-yard penalty. It'll be 3rd down and 13 now for Boston English. Seems like we have not gotten out of this part of the field in about 15 minutes.
That's exactly what's happening. It's like running suicides back and forth.
That's right.
With the flags.
This is relatively new turf. They just renovated the field, but that area of the field's going to be beat up.
Well, English and White is ahead 8-0. Okay, so that's been the same for quite some time.
That's
too.
right. 3rd and 13 now for the Boston English Eagles. They run the read option again. It's Osario again over the right side. Osario spins out of a tackle and then makes his way past the 40 up to the 38-yard line again.
Good lean for the 1st down. I tell you, he's. Same thing happened again. Containment, left of your screen. Osario's going to get around to that number 3. He's supposed to step up and take that corner away. Steps out of that would-be arm tackle. Gives English a 1st down.
Eagles pick up a 1st down. Timeout down on the field. Couldn't see who called it. Could be Boston English, because I think we're getting towards the end of the 2nd quarter.
Halftime, right.
I'm sure English wants to try to put one up. There's 50 seconds left in the quarter, so that must have been Boston English who called the timeout with the football at the O'Brien 38-yard line. English trying to get another score here before the end of the game, at the end of the half, rather.
Yeah, they'd like to go up 2 scores at halftime.
You might see Osario go back to the air now, and Malachi McClure might be on the receiving end of some pass attempts.
Well, now that he's run so well, you're right. The defense for O'Brien just has the tendency to creep closer and closer to the line of scrimmage. That's when they can get hit big with a pass play.
So 1st down now from the O'Brien 38-yard line. Boston English going to go to the air. Osario down the right side looking for McClure. Comes up with the catch. McClure still on his feet. Wrestled down inside the 5 at the 2-yard line.
You called that one. So yeah. Nice pass, too. I mean, good protection. His main receivers out there. Well, actually, it was decent. It was
pretty good coverage there.
I was just going to say,
Lewis.
you can't blame the coverage. I mean, we can't. That was just a good pass and throw. Pass and catch, rather.
Yeah, you saw McClure catch that ball at the highest point.
Yeah, Pierre Lewis was out there.
O'Brien calling a timeout here late in the second quarter. This might be a timeout, too. Mike Branch, who's the defensive coordinator there in the black jersey, as you can see, he might be telling his defense, listen, that play right there, we didn't do anything wrong.
There's nothing you can do about it.
The kid just made a great play. So let's try to keep these guys out of the end zone.
Exactly.
Here's one more look at it down on the field cam as McClure.
Yes, he went up high, like you said. That was the key part of the whole thing, is he was able to use that 6'3" height of his to go up and catch the ball high in the air. The defender, Jean Louis, had no chance. Pierre Louis, I'm sorry.
That's the worst, too, when you're playing football, any sport, where you do everything right, and then your opponent just makes a great play. There's nothing you can do about it.
Well,
takes the wind out of your sails a little bit.
Well, the thing is that coaches seem to understand that better than players. Right. As a player, you're out there and it's happening to you. So you have the emotion, plus you have the physical exertion of trying to defend it.
Right.
But that was what we came into the game looking for that passing combination, Osorio and McClure.
So out of the timeout, Boston English first and goal from the 2-yard line here late in the second quarter. English trying to go up 2 scores against O'Brien. Handoff to Keyshawn Kerr, spins out of a tackle. Keyshawn's in for a touchdown.
Yeah. So one for Gethers earlier in the quarter, and then now we have Keyshawn Kerr. And very nice cut to get into the end zone.
And you've got runners that run hard. You've got runners that are explosive. Keyshawn's just smooth.
He's both.
He just kind of glides out there.
He's definitely both.
Now on the 2-point conversion, they give it to Kerr again, and this time O'Brien comes across and makes the tackle.
Good job.
Keeps English out of the end zone.
What was that, 14-0?
So 14-0, English with the lead. Waning seconds of the second quarter here at O'Brien High School.
Interesting. You mentioned Branch. He's out there right now. He's actually coaching on the field in between these plays here. That's the sophomore we talked about earlier, that number 55, Petit Home, Lamar. And you could tell he's listening. I mean, he's upset, obviously, because they scored, but you can tell he's listening what's going on. He was in defensive end position in that particular sequence. So we'll watch to see if he gets moved around a bit. Because he's an aggressive player, has a few tackles. Saved the possession on that kickoff, on that,
right.
on that onside kick try by English.
We'll see if English goes with that again. They do the
flat football.
Flat football, East Boston kickoff.
Right, no kick and tee.
So Boston English now with a 14-0 lead here late in the second quarter over O'Brien. Corey Collins, the kicker for the Eagles, does that squib kick. Picked up this time. And a nice return here for O'Brien by Elijah De La Rosa Hampton.
Took a chance. The senior was able to corral it. Like you said, tack on a nice return.
One of the few seniors on this Tigers team makes a nice play, gets O'Brien into English territory at the 46-yard line. Depending on how much time's left, we'll see if O'Brien might be able to try to
put it in the air. I mean,
put it up.
Just take.
No, I think it is the half.
It is halftime.
I think it is the half. So
back here, Alex.
Hampton trying to make a play there, but it is the half here at O'Brien High School in Roxbury. Right now, Boston English on top, 14-0. And, you know, if you're the O'Brien Tigers right now, you might be saying, you know, we actually played a little bit better of a half there defensively. We give that one big play to Boston English to get that last touchdown before the half. There's probably some good things you can talk about here if you're O'Brien, but also some things you got to clean up.
Oh, no doubt about that. If you think back to it, both touchdowns were set up by big plays by English, and a couple of mistakes, missed tackles, you know, missed coverages, and that's going to happen. I mean, we get the pass to McClure. There's nothing you can do about that. The receiver's 6'3", good athlete, good hands.
That's right.
Goes up in the air to get the ball. So that set up the second touchdown. But you're right. There's a lot of good things that were going on out there. I like the fact that the O'Brien team, the young kids, are aggressive.
That's right.
Sometimes they're opposition. Sometimes they're just not experienced enough to see what's coming. But they're playing aggressively. They're not just standing around. That makes a big difference.
That's right. And the young, aggressive team that is looking to build upon things here throughout the season. Meanwhile, on the other side for Boston English, the Eagles, you know, have a ton of running backs, but it's been the quarterback who's gotten it done here offensively for Boston English. And actually, one of the coaches is down on the sideline with our sideline reporter, Seth Orensky. So, Seth, take it away.
Joined by O'Brien head coach Kevin Gadsden. Coach, you guys have been extremely positive with your group on the sideline. And realistically, this half could have been a lot closer if not for one or two mistakes. What's your message to the team at halftime?
Well, they're playing. They're young and they're playing hard. A couple of calls could have went our way. We got some young guys out there. They made a couple of plays that got them on the scoreboard. So we're still upbeat. We're still going to fight, and we're still going to try and come back.
The one spot that they seem to be having a lot of success on offense is that QB sneak, using the big quarterback. How do you try to slow him down in the second half?
We're going to try to put something in there and have our linebackers maybe key on him once he fakes and then powers in off tackle.
Offensively, you didn't get that many opportunities. What are you going to try to sprinkle in the second half to have some more success?
We're just going to try and do what we can. We're going to try and just execute what we practiced all week and see how that goes.
Coach, thanks so much for your time. Good luck in the second half. Guys, take it away.
That might be a first, huh? When last time we had a halftime coach tell us exactly what they're going to do in the second half? So one of the linebackers will now be keying on the quarterback for English. Hey, that's an obvious change, but it might help.
Yeah, no question. We'll see if that does help here at the half. Coach Gadsden, very upbeat, optimistic, and looking for his team to just execute what they've been practicing, which makes sense for a young team.
Yeah, Kevin's a character. He knows football's up and down. Like you mentioned before, I actually forgotten until you brought it up. He's had a really successful run here.
They have.
I mean, I can't remember the last time they had a down season.
Right.
He's been to playoff games, so they
winning records all the time.
Exactly. And they always have skilled players who can score, who can and defend. So this is a new experience, but there's a different type of excitement with so many young players who are willing to learn and want to get better.
That's right.
And you can see it in the field.
No question. We'll see what kind of adjustments O'Brien can make here at the half. Meanwhile, for English, they got a 14-point lead, and they're running the ball well with all their backs and their quarterbacks. So we'll see what they do in the second half as well. But right now, folks, we're going to head to break. When we come back, we'll have the Game of the Week halftime stats and maybe some highlights before we get going on the third quarter here on Game of the Week. Make sure you stick around.
When I never graduated from high school, I realized I wanted to go back to school because I didn't want to work these back-breaking jobs the rest of my life. With the help of my father and having my son, that was all the motivation that I needed to come back to school. I felt accomplished, made me feel that I could take on whatever challenges life throws at you.
Find free adult education classes near you at finishyourdiploma.org.
Honey, what I think you need is a socket wrench.
I played JV basketball.
I'm sorry. I don't think it looks right.
This is good, and it's all good, baby.
Is it really all good?
If you love me enough to routinely test your handyman skills, not to mention the strength of your marriage, then of course you'll visit nhtsa.gov/therightseat to make sure I'm in the right car seat.
I'm gonna call my dad.
1 in 3 adults has pre-diabetes. That means it could be you, your favorite brother, your other brother, you, your football buddy, your football buddy, you, your plumber.
Breathe right into your foot.
Your plumber's masseuse.
Yes.
You, your dog walker, your cat jogger. With early diagnosis, prediabetes can be reversed. Take the risk test at doihaveprediabetes.org.
When I was 10, my mom got deported. We had a difficult time, and I feel that's why I didn't get to finish school. My husband is really supportive in a way that he pushed me to go back to school.
She wants to have a career so her kids can look up to her.
They both keep me motivated to go to school, and they see that if I do it, like, they can do it too, you know? I feel that everything's possible.
Find free adult education classes near you at finishyourdiploma.org.
Each year, there are more than a dozen significant tropical and winter storms that threaten the East Coast. So chances are there will be more hurricanes and blizzards near here again. And between school, sports, and social lives, chances are you won't be with your kids when it happens. Will they know what to do? Ready.gov/kids has all the educational tools and information to make the conversation easy. When the time comes, chances are they'll feel prepared, not scared. So talk with your family today.
All right, Monroe, you ready? Monroe. Here we go, the butterfly. Ready? Ooh.
I am what hunger looks like in America. I am an 8-year-old girl who's not excited for the last day of school. Because this may be the last time I'll have lunch. Till September. I am a single father of 2 who works 3 part-time jobs. And that's still not enough to put food on the table. I was created by artificial intelligence from faces of the 1 in 8 Americans who struggle with hunger.
Feeding America, 200 food banks strong.
Imagine being fired because of who you love. Imagine being denied medical treatment because of who you marry. Imagine being evicted because of who you are. Millions of Americans don't have to imagine this. They have to live it. Because in 30 states, it's legal to discriminate against LGBT people.
Jordan knows he shouldn't eat this entire bowl of nachos, but tonight he's earned that right. Because a few hours ago, in the middle of happy hour, he recognized a sign. Not from the gods or a bolt of lightning, but from a double heart, a kissy face, and a 4th ha in ha ha ha. That's when Jordan knew he was buzzed. So when it was time to go, he got a ride home instead of driving. Be a legend like Jordan. Recognize your buzzed warning signs and get a ride home. Buzz driving is drunk driving.
Welcome back to O'Brien High School in Roxbury. We're at the half here on Game of the Week. The Boston English Eagles lead the O'Brien Tigers 14-0. And folks, we're going to take a look at our halftime stats before we get going here at O'Brien High. And first up is going to be the Tigers.
Not much for the Tigers at all. Luis, 4 carries, 4 yards. Williams, 1. Nothing. And then passing, Gilbert just threw the ball 1 time for the incompletion. Virtually no offense. Just for the very young team.
They actually have a total of -3 yards offensively. Let's take a look at the English's halftime stats.
The English, Rosario's all over the place with his running and his passing, 64 yards rushing. Receiving, McClure had 2 catches for 45 yards. That big one set up the touchdown.
That's right.
And Rosario again, 3 for 6, 55 yards. So the English quarterback, you mentioned he surprised you with his running. He surprised me too. I knew he could throw the ball. Big kid, but his running has made a difference in this first half.
No question. We got a couple of highlights of Rosario running the football here.
Now, there's the quarterback, actually. He's already made a play fake to the running backs. Here's a pass, nice catch by the receiver. And this is the long one that set up the touchdown. That was McClure, Malachi McClure. We talked about him in the open. That 6'3" height obviously helps him beating those shorter cornerbacks.
The quick squib kick, and again, fielded nicely by O'Brien as they recover at their own 48-yard line. Doing the job that time is David Barbosa.
Almost at midfield.
That is the thing with that kick. You know, it's like you can catch a team off guard, but then if you don't get the ball back, you're giving them excellent field position.
Yeah, the ball spins, it twists, sometimes it bounces. You can do all kinds of crazy things. But you're right, Barbosa did the right thing. He was already down, made sure that his body covered it, and then he's not even allowed to be hit.
That's not my area of expertise.
So O'Brien takes over at their own 48-yard line here for their first possession of the second half. As we mentioned,
Kendrell Gilbert, all 5'7", 130 pounds of him at quarterback, number 16.
We'll see if the sophomore can get his squad going here. Start the third quarter. On first down, they get the handoff inside. Nice run this time. Up to the 44-yard line of Boston English. Elijah DeRosa Hampton, the senior, with the carry.
Got their best play from scrimmage of the game.
Yeah, 9-yard carry there. He was explosive off the spot right there.
Knocked the official down and helped him up.
So it looks like he got banged up, I believe, in the very opening kickoff, and you wonder how much that affected them in the first half.
He's okay now.
That one-arm tackle.
That was close. Actually, that was close to being a horse collar.
We also got an English player down on the field. That's Nadim Vattel, one of their receivers and linebackers. Vattel, one of their better linebackers so far. Senior for Boston English. They're looking at his ankle. He might have been the one with the one-arm tackle, but
No. Harlan said, didn't you tell Brad?
Yeah, O'Brien, with that field position you talked about, at some point Gilbert's going to have to throw a pass, probably a short, safe pass, because like you mentioned before, he does have the big tight ends, Williams. Yeah, Patel, a slight limp, so he might, hopefully it's just a temporary sprain.
You want to move up some more, or are you good? They're coming this way. Oh, okay. Good call, Billy.
We'll see if Vitale comes back at some point. O'Brien, first down at the 42-yard line. I thought it was short, but they gave him the first down at the 42. Gilbert back to throw, getting out to Williams. Williams now in space. Jamari Williams trucking forward. They mark him down at the 29-yard line.
Yeah, that's what you want. You have an inexperienced quarterback unexpectedly playing, so give him a safe pass. And Williams stood with the size and the good hands. You can see how he could easily be an offensive lineman, too.
That's right, a couple more pounds on him.
Looking
for the playing tackle.
Looking for the contact.
So Tigers now with the
slot
football
this time. Wow.
And English territory, like you mentioned, Williams in the slot. Spread formation. Gilbert hands it off again, and that time it's a loss on the play for DeRosa Hampton as he's wrapped up at the 31-yard line. So a 2-yard loss there on first down for O'Brien.
Yeah, at this point, you have English just focusing on whoever the single running back is in there. But they know that Kendrell Gilbert, young quarterback, so the play calls from the coaches are going to be basic. Try simple plays. Don't put so much pressure on your young quarterback. I really think they can get something if they can throw the ball to Williams a little more.
Second and 11 now. Gilbert faced with a rush. Tries to get it out to Pierre Lewis. And the ball falls incomplete. That was close to being a lateral, backwards pass, but it was forward.
There's a little inexperience. He put far too much speed on that one because Lewis was out there. He was open. to watch. See, because it's pressure, he fires like a bullet pass. He didn't need that. He just taking a little off of that one.
Those throws into the flat on screens, those are some of the toughest throws for quarterbacks to make.
Exactly, and that not just high school. You see it mistakenly done in college and in the pros. You're right, it's a tough one because sometimes you got to be a touch pass, other times you have to zip it in to avoid the defender coming in.
3rd and 12 now for the Tigers. The handoff to DeRosa Hampton, who makes his way past the 35 up to the 33-yard line.
Well, he's making a difference here in this second half
no
already.
No question. It's going to be 4th and 3 now, much more manageable for the Tigers.
Tell Hampton to take a deep breath. Give it to him again. I tell you,
he's pretty explosive.
I was going to say, I mean, that's a tough loss for him to have him have to sit out. He sit out most of the first half, if not all of it, after the opening kickoff, hurt his elbow. He must be okay because the elbow is part of trying to protect the football. So I guess he's okay. Okay, Hampton's in the backfield with the quarterback. Put Williams back in the slot again.
Fourth and 3.
They're trying to draw him offside. That's what they're doing. Long count, they're trying to draw English offside.
That's a false start on O'Brien.
Yeah. Yeah, you saw the quarterback Gilbert faking the ball coming to him. They're definitely trying to draw English offside.
Sometimes too with young linemen, though, you sit there that long.
You get anxious.
You get anxious.
Right.
It's tough.
And gravity takes over, especially if you're leaning. If you're leaning it all forward, you can only hold it so long.
Sometimes as a player, too, you're like, why am I falling forward now?
Yeah, exactly. There you go.
It's just...
You just earned a procedure penalty.
Right. 4th and 8 now for O'Brien. And we have some more early movement. There'll be another false start.
The ball was definitely coming to him.
Yeah.
You could always tell the most anxious receiver on the field, the play was called for him. And we just talked about Williams had that nice catch to get them into this position, but now the mistakes starting to mount up. Yep, he was going to run that slant. But they're still too close to punt the ball.
So the Tigers will try to go for it here on 4th and now 13 from the English 33-yard line. Gotta think they're gonna look for Williams, the big target. The question is Gilbert going to have enough time to even try to find him downfield? Williams right now, the second from the top of your screen. Gilbert has some time down the right side. He's got another receiver, but couldn't quite hook up with Lamari Slayton.
Tell you, Gilbert,
he can put it out there
on that ball. Tell you, for 130 pounds, you got a decent arm. That was definitely overthrown, but he has receiver out there.
Tight looking spiral. So that'll be a turnover on downs. English will take over.
You got to wonder if Slayton he could throw it that far, because he wasn't at a full-out sprint. He ran nice padding, beat the cornerback. Ball was just overthrown.
So the Eagles take over at their own 33-yard line. Well, one thing with O'Brien you can say, too, is you got a couple of guys. I mean, I know they had Omar Larama earlier in the season. Now you got Gilbert. You have a couple of guys that could go into a quarterback competition next offseason. Got some talent at that position. Now on first down, Keyshawn Kerr. Another nice spin move by Kerr. Somehow still on his feet. Kerr to the sideline. Keyshawn looking towards the end zone. Touchdown, Boston English. What a run by Keyshawn Kerr.
He just showed everything that we talked about. Speed, quickness, power.
.67-yard touchdown run by Keyshawn Kerr. Now gives English their 3rd touchdown of the game.
And you see this a lot in high school football. You go for a 4th and long, you miss it because of an overthrown pass. Next play, usually the next play is a pass from the opposite team. This time, Kerr just as good as a pass. In fact, better because it's safer.
So now the Eagles looking to tack on the 2-point conversion. They were not able to convert after the 2nd touchdown of the game. And they go again with a rugby scrum with Osario on the quarterback keeper, and he does get in for the 2-point conversion. That's just a backbreaker also for
definitely.
O'Brien. You know, you're driving down the field, you get a couple of penalties, so you're not able to score.
Forced to go on 4th down.
Then you give up a big touchdown. Here's the replay of the touchdown here for Keyshawn Kerr.
Watch, he's going to run through a couple of tackles, run through 2 arm tackles there. And then his quickness just gets him to the outside to avoid the free safety. And right here, kicks into the afterburners, and no one's going to catch him. They don't get him to like the 2-yard line, but by that time, he can power his way in. Watch this, he's going to get hit, but he still powers into the end zone.
So the 67-yard touchdown run by Keyshawn Kerr, 2-point conversion tacked on towards the end by Osario. 22-0 lead here for Boston English over O'Brien late in the 3rd quarter.
Boy, looking ahead, there's an very old English alum. Thinking about Thanksgiving and English. We've had Boston Latin a few times this season already. Good team, big team, physical team, and for our first time seeing English, that might be a nice matchup.
It was Squibb kick this time, and O'Brien lets that roll out of bounds. So it'll be a procedure penalty on Boston English.
Yeah, smart play by DeRosa Hampton.
Yeah, talking to Coach Conway earlier in the week and just kind of going over the season, he said, you know, there's 3 seasons in Boston English football. There's the regular season, there's either the postseason or the end of the regular season games that you have while the postseason's going on, and then there's Thanksgiving. That's the 3rd leg.
And not necessarily in that order.
Right.
Yeah, Kerr. We talked about him before, and again, the spinning move, nice little jab fake there, and right now you think he'd be out of gas, but instead he's going to turn on the burners and actually gets caught on an angle by Clark. But Rockland, by the time he gets him, Kerr just dives into the end zone.
So English now with the 3-touchdown lead here in the 3rd quarter. We'll see if O'Brien, who had a nice little spurt there to get the football down the field, but then were unable to convert inside the red zone, had a few penalties. I'm sure they're going to try to go back to Elijah DeRosa Hampton.
Oh, definitely. He's luckily recovered from that elbow issue he had.
One player still injured for O'Brien is number 7, John Aljo, who was also injured earlier in the game. He's not coming back. He's got his arm wrapped up, his wrist wrapped up. Now on 1st down, Gilbert looking to throw again. Ooh. And again, too far out in front of his receiver. He was looking for Lamari Slayton again. Yeah. Like we said before, Gilbert can put it out there, but
I'm saying I like that. I mean, give him a chance.
Decent protection too.
He's a little over anxious, a little too much adrenaline. I don't think English is expecting him to be going that deep downfield. So, like you said, the blocking protection in the 3rd quarter so far has been good. He has time to step into the throw. Just a little over anxious because he wants to make that big play, and you always end up just like a basketball player overshooting or a baseball player striking out.
Right, trying to swing for the fences. 2nd and 10 now for O'Brien. They go back to DeRosa Hampton, who this time gets wrapped up in the backfield right around the 28-yard line.
Well, there had to be some blocking assignments missed on that because Hampton was out there by himself. See, by the time he tries to cut back in, there's nobody there.
Guy Norbrun for Boston English in on the stop.
So it should be 3rd down now as
Jamani Rivera in the stop as well. I'm sorry, that's not Jemani Rivera. He's injured, so that must be a player who got Jemani's jersey. Third and 11 now. Third and 11 now for the O'Brien Tigers. Another handoff, this time Boston English all over it. Coming up with the stop.
Yeah. Handoff is to Rosa Hampton, and clearly English is keying on him after that. Just a couple of good runs to start the quarter.
So Tigers will have to punt the football one more time as
Pierre-Louis.
Jones Pierre-Louis back to kick. Once again, Keyshawn Kerr back to receive.
Oh, good job.
Jones Pierre. He's going to have to try to run with the football.
I thought he was going to still try to kick it, but he just
that was actually
too much pressure.
That was actually the smart play after the high snap.
He had high snaps all game. He, good hands to pull him down, but that one was really high.
And I believe that's going to do it for the third quarter.
Let's see if the officials start to run. Once they start running,
that's right.
You got it.
I think that is it for the third quarter here at O'Brien High School.
I tell you see the officials running, that's it.
That's right. That's your indicator. We're going to end the break. When we come back with the fourth quarter here on Game of the Week, we'll see a little bit more of Keyshawn Kerr. It's had an outstanding game for Boston English, including this beautiful 67-yard touchdown run. Make sure you stick around, folks.
Most of my family, they never graduated high school or even let alone go to college, so I'm trying to break that barrier. Every day after work, went straight to school, studied hard, and it paid off. I could not have done it alone. I see the future is really bright for me. The high school diploma is just added to the confidence, and now I feel unstoppable.
Find free adult education classes near you at finishyourdiploma.org.
Welcome back to O'Brien High School in Roxbury for Game of the Week between the English Eagles and the O'Brien Tigers. Folks, next week we're going to see O'Brien again as they visit the East Boston Jets out at East Boston Memorial Stadium. That's Friday, October 22nd at 6 p.m. You can watch that game live on Boston City TV. You got Xfinity. It's channel 24. If you got RCN, channel 13. If you have Verizon Fios, it's channel 962. Now on first down, they try to get it to McClure on the wide receiver screen, but the pass is a little too low for him.
Good pressure. Good pressure on the quarterback for O'Brien. The Applewhite and Bob both giving Rosario some pressure.
Yeah, Applewhite, who's also the center on O'Brien's offensive line, has an older brother, Jalen Applewhite, who was the quarterback for Brighton a few years ago. Very good quarterback for the Brighton Bengals, I believe back in the 2013, 2012
Yeah, they all started to blend in after a while.
Osario gets the pass deflected that time by Jamari Williams and company.
This is interesting. That was a screen pass they're trying to set up, so the pressure's going to be there. But again, because these O'Brien kids are still hustling, watch middle of your screen, you see the pressure. They get a deflection. So you were seeing a gambling defense here in the fourth quarter by O'Brien. They're blitzing these gaps.
Abdurrahman Ba, in on the deflected pass as well. Now it's Osario going to take it himself. Another nice-looking run here from Osario. That's going to be brought back, I believe, because that's going to be a holding penalty. He gets to the end zone, but they're going to be bringing that one back.
Osario. Yeah. Get that one, Pat. That was a hold behind Osario.
Replay, third down.
So that's the second touchdown they've had called back because of a penalty. Kevin Gatson told Steph at halftime he's going to have a linebacker shading
Osario, right?
Osario.
Not sure if we
lost
saw
assignment because Osario was ended up in the end zone.
Maybe he was the player that was held.
Unless that was the guy held. Yeah, right. That's
give
the
him
only
benefit
saving
of the doubt.
grace, right?
3rd and 14 now for English.
Kerr
It's
again.
Keyshawn Kerr trying to get to the outside. Kerr towards the end zone. Shoved out of bounds inside the 10 at the 5, I think at the 6-yard line. And O'Brien's looking for a flag. I thought I saw a hold as well on
It did
that
look
side.
like it, right, yeah. But again, Kerr, it's almost like he shifts gears. Gets to the outside. Has 122 yards rushing for Kerr.
First and goal now for Boston English from the 6-yard line.
I formation, Kerr deep back in the eye. There he
Give it
goes.
to Kerr. Keyshawn rumbles into the end zone for another touchdown.
We've seen a lot of good running backs this season so far, Pat. He's up there with Crispin and Posada from Latin Academy and a few others, but Kerr is just as good. Like you said, he has the speed, obviously. But he also has shifty moves, and when he needs power, he has that too.
That's right.
And he's not an overly big guy, but a lot of muscle.
Keyshawn Kerr with a touchdown. Osario again on the 2-point conversion. They've converted it twice that way, and now it's 3 times. Why go away from it? Boston English now on top, 30-0 over the O'Brien Tigers.
Well, this would be a time to see some of the backup plays for English to come in. Again, like you call it, rugby scrum,
The rugby
right?
scrum, yeah.
It's interesting because years ago, that used to be a penalty. If you tried to help by pushing your running back teammate, anybody with the ball, it was a penalty.
Yeah, I believe they actually changed that, within the last few years.
Yeah, because it was it was getting done a lot on kickoffs and punt returns, and for whatever reason they decided to take it off the penalty list.
Keyshawn Kerr with now 94 yards in the second half alone on just 3 rushes. English again trying for the onside kick. It hits the
English player,
so that'll be an illegal procedure on Boston English. O'Brien can actually take the football right there.
Yeah, they should.
At the English 48-yard line.
I think it went out of bounds too, so yeah, they can have it right there. I mean, the players for O'Brien just want to get on the scoreboard.
That's right.
Let's get on the scoreboard. I like Gilbert, too. He definitely has a good arm. I mean, he's, like I said, I just think he's over anxious because he did have the 2 overthrows. English has done a good job. It's pretty much taking Williams, the big tight end, taking him out of the game with double coverage.
Yeah, they had that one pass to him out near the sideline where he picked up
did a good job.
A double-digit gain, but since then has not been able to get a target.
So for freshmen coming in the game, Chris Paredes, number 77. They'll be playing right tackle. 6 feet, 260. He was late getting on the field, so the coach had to yell at him to get out there. So he made it in time.
1st and 10 now for O'Brien from their Boston English 49-yard line. Gilbert over the right side. There you see Williams coming up with the reception as he's brought down at the 45-yard line. We got a flag on the play.
Huh.
O'Brien saying that they
something got said
picked the ball off.
So the tie goes to the runner, or the offense usually, if they both players have equal possession. But the flag is against English.
Late hit.
Late hit on Nadim Vattel.
Wow.
So tack on another 15.
They're walking it off now.
So O'Brien will now have the football at the English 29-yard line after the 15-yard late hit penalty.
Okay, English wants a timeout. Seems like English wants to get a shutout because they have a couple of backup players in, but there are a few starters still in there.
Coach Conway also wants to talk to the referees and wants an explanation on that late hit penalty as well. Our sideline reporter, Seth Orensky, has an update for us. Seth.
Guys, it clearly hasn't been the best day for O'Brien, but head coach Kevin Gadsden is thrilled to have such a quality facility available not only for just his team, but also for some of the other teams that play here, Madison Park's football team, but also some of the soccer teams and some of the other teams for those two high schools. He thinks that it'll really motivate all of their student athletes to work harder during practices and games because they have a chance to play on such a great facility. Guys?
Seth, thanks very much. And anytime you do have a new field, new facilities, you want to use those facilities because they're brand new. It's almost like, getting brand new equipment, and it's you want to put it to good use. So
it's only new for so long.
Makes sense. That's right.
So, yeah, nice track, nice running track.
Yeah, they did a great job.
Some outdoor track meets, yeah. You were right about the English. They called the timeout just to yell at the officials. I don't think I've ever seen a head coach so mad, up 30-0.
First and 15. Gilbert looking for his receiver, streaking, over the middle, but pass a little too low there for David Barbosa.
Actually, some pressure. Tyshawn Jackson, Jr., He's been putting pressure on the punter all day. And at that time, he put pressure on Gilbert, who had a receiver deep downfield, but just couldn't get his arm in position to get it downfield.
Second and 10 now for the Tigers. Gilbert just has to get rid of the football on that one.
Yeah, he's really getting swarmed now. Yeah, I think that's what it is. I think English wants a shutout. I really do. So they are coming fast and furious on Gilbert. Watch the middle and the ends. And
Gilbert got undercut there.
I was just going to say, that was close to being, if his own player wasn't there, that's close to being a late hit. Good to see the sophomore bounce right back up, though.
One of the things you got to be as a quarterback is resilient. Too,
no doubt about that. We saw Osario earlier in the first half get the bloody nose.
Third and 10 now for O'Brien. DeRosa Hampton again on the carry. Still on his feet. Wasn't technically down, so he picks up another couple of yards.
He actually fell, you're right, he fell on a player, so he wasn't down. Probably add a few more yards. Very well short of the first down, but you gotta like the effort. If you watch closely, you'll see. See, he bounced. He actually fell on the defender. Yeah.
Yeah, picks up 4 on the play. They mark him down at the 26-yard line, so it'll be 4th and about 6. Make that 4th and 7 for.
Yeah, it'll be a quick.
O'Brien.
Should be a quick pass to. Well, they have plenty of receivers out there. Going to the wide side of the field, you got Williams, along with Barbosa and Pierre Lewis.
Now on 4th down for O'Brien. Trips to the left side of your screen. They're looking for Williams. And Williams, nice looking open field tackle there for the English Eagles. Coming across that time, number 15, Denzel Pierre.
Yeah, they've been shadowing Williams all game anyway with double coverage. You try to send the slot guy to the middle and the slant to open up some room, but English wasn't going for it. They're going to stay with Williams no matter what.
So the English Eagles take over on downs at their own 27-yard line. Here with, I believe, less than 4 minutes left to go in the game.
Might be less than that, actually. It's been all running and penalties, but English is, once they got going, once they get that running attack going.
That's right. Rosario looking to throw the football here on 1st down.
Yeah,
and he was wrapped up in the backfield.
Whatever the coaches and English side were upset about, I don't know what it was, but I mean this is just, I mean, there's no reason to throw the ball at all. You're up 30-0, like you said, a few minutes left in the game. It's like you're upset about something. I don't know, because it wasn't. It didn't seem like they were protesting a penalty, but something happened because the coach called a timeout. You picked it up too. Coach called a timeout just to yell at the officials.
Right. Coach Conway asked the official to come over as soon as he called the timeout.
Rosario again. Got some running room.
Off the option play. Heading to the sideline. Shoved out of bounds right around the 49-yard line. 23-yard pickup there for Rosario.
Oh, see, they started the game with that play. Fake handoff. Good running room, good patience. And turns on the speed as he gets to the sideline and knocked out. Well, we got a quarterback honing in on 100 yards. He has 91 right now. That's going to be procedure there. Looks like Brian called timeout.
I'm with you, Alan. I thought that was a legal procedure penalty.
Yeah. Well, coming into the game, you and I, we talked before the game and thought it could be a pretty wide score.
Sure.
You have O'Brien not really able to score much for the season. You know, they lost to Brighton 36-6. They lost to Latin 34-12. They got shut out by Cathedral 35. So, you know, they literally, you're talking about they're averaging like 6 points a game.
That's right.
Whereas English 2-2 and a tough close loss to East Boston, who we've seen and we know they're really good.
That's right.
So this was shaping up to be, you know, pretty much of a blowout.
Now on 1st down, Rosario getting sacked in the backfield. That's the other thing too.
I don't understand this.
I'm surprised they're trying to throw the football, especially. I don't know if you want to, you know, expose your quarterback to this kind of pressure either. Late in the game.
That's it.
And that is going to do it here at O'Brien High School as the English Eagles take down the O'Brien Tigers 30-0. Right now, neither team going through the handshake line either.
This is unusual. It's too bad too. I mean, we had the ceremony before the game to dedicate the field.
That's right. Well, the English Eagles take down O'Brien here 30-0. Boston English improves to 3-2 on the season. Tigers still looking for their first win. They dropped to 0-4 on the year. And, you know, we came in knowing that Keyshawn Kerr, one of the best running backs we've seen in the last couple of years, now he's a senior. And what we saw out of him today was nothing unusual for Keyshawn Kerr.
He's amazing. Like I said earlier, especially in that third and fourth quarter. we've seen a bunch of good running backs. I think he's as good as any of them.
No question.
And with his speed, his power, his shiftiness, and like you said, he's seasoned now as a senior. He was good 2 years ago when we did a game over at English. And
right, he's just a sophomore.
They were getting beaten, but he kept them in the game.
That's right.
So it's you're right. Keyshawn is he's actually on target for a really good senior season to wrap up his English career.
That's right. With him, Osario at quarterback, you got a couple other running backs in there. This English running game very good here at the midway point of the 2021 fall football season. Folks, we're going to head to break. When we come back, we'll have our Game of the Week MVP, our game-winning coach, and our final stats here from O'Brien High School in Roxbury right after these words. Don't go away.
When I never graduated from high school, I realized I wanted to go back to school because I didn't want to work these back-breaking jobs the rest of my life. With the help of my father and having my son, that was all the motivation that I needed to come back to school. I felt accomplished, made me feel that I could take on whatever challenges life throws at you.
Find free adult education classes near you at finishyourdiploma.org.
Honey, what I think you need is a socket wrench.
I played JV basketball.
I'm sorry. I don't think it looks right.
This is good, and it's all good, baby.
Is it really all good?
If you love me enough to routinely test your handyman skills, not to mention the strength of your marriage, then of course you'll visit nhtsa.gov/therightseat to make sure I'm in the right car seat.
I'm gonna call my dad.
1 in 3 adults has pre-diabetes. That means it could be you, your favorite brother, your other brother, you, your football buddy, your football buddy, you, your plumber,
Breathe right into your foot.
your plumber's masseuse,
Yes.
you, your dog walker, your cat jogger. With early diagnosis, pre-diabetes can be reversed. Take the risk test at doihaveprediabetes.org.
When I was 10, my mom got deported. We had a difficult time, and I feel that's why I didn't get to finish school. My husband is really supportive in a way that he pushed me to go back to school.
She wants to have a career so her kids can look up to her.
They both keep me motivated to go to school, and they see that if I do it, like, they can do it too, you know? I feel that everything's possible.
Find free adult education classes near you at finishyourdiploma.org.
Each year, there are more than a dozen significant tropical and winter storms that threaten the East Coast. So chances are there will be more hurricanes and blizzards near here again. And between school, sports, and social lives, chances are you won't be with your kids when it happens. Will they know what to do? Ready.gov/kids has all the educational tools and information to make the conversation easy. When the time comes, chances are they'll feel prepared, not scared. So talk with your family today.
All right, Monroe, you ready? Monroe! Here we go, the butterfly. Ready? Ooh.
I am what hunger looks like in America. I am an 8-year-old girl who's not excited for the last day of school. Because this may be the last time I'll have lunch. Till September. I am a single father of 2 who works 3 part-time jobs. And that's still not enough to put food on the table. I was created by artificial intelligence from faces of the 1 in 8 Americans who struggle with hunger.
Feeding America, 200 food banks strong.
Imagine being fired because of who you love. Imagine being denied medical treatment because of who you marry. Imagine being evicted because of who you are. Millions of Americans don't have to imagine this. They have to live it. Because in 30 states, it's legal to discriminate against LGBT people.
Jordan knows he shouldn't eat this entire bowl of nachos, but tonight he's earned that right because a few hours ago in the middle of happy hour, he recognized a sign. Not from the gods or a bolt of lightning, but from a double heart, a kissy face, and a fourth ha in ha ha ha. That's when Jordan knew he was buzzed. So when it was time to go, he got a ride home instead of driving. Be a legend like Jordan. Recognize your buzzed warning signs and get a ride home. Buzz driving is drunk driving.
If I could go back and change it all, I would. I think I'm gonna miss you the most. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Maybe it's just the little moments. If I could go back and change it all, if I could go back, I would. But I can't.
How prepared is your family if a hurricane shows up at your doorstep, or a flood, or a blizzard? You can't just turn away a natural disaster. That's why it's important to go to ready.gov/plan now. It has the tools and tips you need to make an emergency plan with your family. So if disaster comes knocking, let's go. You'll be ready to help keep your family safe.
It's just a pizza.
Yes! Make a plan today.
Hey, Bobo, do trees tell each other stories?
I'm sorry. I'm afraid I don't know that.
Hey, why don't we go find out? Listen.
Do clouds take naps?
I couldn't tell you.
Dad, do stars visit their friends?
Look!
Welcome back to O'Brien High School in Roxbury. At the conclusion of game of the week, the Boston English Eagles defeated the O'Brien Tigers 30-0 here between two Boston North teams. And like we mentioned before, Keyshawn Kerr, you know, English came in with a lot of good running backs, and we saw even their quarterback have a really nice game rushing the football. But even though they have a ton of good guys in the backfield, Keyshawn Kerr, again, one of the best players we've seen here for English.
He definitely stands out, no doubt about that. And he set the tone. The first part of the first quarter was 0-0, and you know, O'Brien was trying to hang in, but Keyshawn had a couple of tough runs up the middle, then he popped one outside, setting up the first touchdown, and he ended up with over 120 yards. So yeah, he's a senior. We talked about O'Brien being young.
Right.
Kerr on the English side is one of the seniors, one of the veteran seniors, is probably their best player.
No question. He showed it tonight. He is our player of the game. He and Coach Ryan Conway are down on the sideline with our sideline reporter, Seth Orensky. Seth, take it away.
Joined by our Boston English MVP, Keyshawn Kerr. 11 rushes, 128 yards, 3 touchdowns. What was working for you today?
It was my line. They just made it possible for me to be able to break through and just do what I do. Shout out to coaches, shout out to people that came to support, shout out my mom, shout out my dad, love them.
Your third touchdown, I think it was of the day, that 67-yard rush where you just weave all the way to the right, all the way back to the left. What were you seeing on that play? Because it really seemed to be the dagger scoring early on in the third quarter and kind of knocking them out of the game.
I'm just a playmaker. I'm trying to make plays, help my team win.
Finally, you talk about the support. Your entire family is just to our right. They're loud. They're very supportive. What does that mean as a senior to have them backing you?
I mean, it feels good. It feels good to have them out. I love them.
Finally, you had a great rushing day, but so did your quarterback. How does it help having those two big-time runners where if they key it on you, Mark's going to go off for a big run?
It loosens up the defense. I help loosen up the defense. He does his thing. Yeah.
Well, congratulations on a great game, Keyshawn. We'll bring in Coach. Coach, what does it mean to have all these different rushers where you talked about Malachi before the game being a big-time option? He didn't even have to be that big of a threat for you guys with all the different weapons you have.
we're fortunate enough to have talented backfield. Not only our backfield, but our receivers. Mark is our returning quarterback. So, having him there, we can throw a couple of different things at you. Last week was a tough loss. So they wanted to leave no doubt this week, where they were and what we're capable of doing.
You guys had some adversity today, some plays called back, some plays that went against you, but you never faltered. You didn't give up any points. You didn't let them go on a big drive. How big was that to be able to deal with some of that adversity after you kind of struggled with it last week?
Well, we've been dealing with adversity all year. We preach that it's us against everybody, and some of the calls and some of the plays and some of the things that have been happening to us, it just keeps demonstrating that we feel like we're the underdog. We feel like everybody counts us out. Hopefully Latin Academy takes care of East Boston tonight, and then we'll have a three-way tie in the city. And then we play Latin Academy next week, and then we'll see what happens after that.
I'd like to talk about that Latin Academy game. Latin Academy undefeated. They're having a really strong season. Your team hasn't won back-to-back games yet this year. What do you need to do this week in practice and in that game to get those back-to-back wins in a big city win?
Well, we just have to be consistent. Everything we did this week, we got to do next week. We've had some problems with consistency. We're missing some guys. We got two young guys, on the line. One of them got hurt. He couldn't play. We had to throw somebody in there, and that was literally yesterday when we were going through our offensive period. So we had to make an adjustment. So, these kids are resilient. These kids are fighters, and they're going to fight for each other, and they're going to keep doing what they do. And we're just going to keep coaching them, and we're going to coach them up, and we're going to love them like we need to love them, and be tough on them when we need to be tough on them.
Well, Coach, congratulations on the victory this week. Good luck next week.
You got it.
Guys, take it away.
Thanks so much, Seth. And Coach Conway, very happy with the win here this evening. Boy, East Boston Latin Academy and Boston English, who seem to be, maybe the three top teams in the city so far this year. They're all playing each other within about a 3-week period.
Well, he spelled it out. He said if the Latin Academy and East Boston, they're playing tonight. So depending on how that game comes out, just like Coach Conway said, it could be a 3-way tie in Boston North. So it's one of those things that we're just past the midway point, or at the midway point, and teams are starting to understand who they are. Obviously, injuries are always a wild card because you never can tell when that happens. But again, English was impressive today. Bringing up 30 points, to having 2 touchdowns called back because of penalties.
That's right.
So this could have been easily over 40 points.
Sure.
So English will get ready for their big showdown next week.
No question. That's going to be a good one once again here in the Boston City League. Let's take a look at the final stats here from O'Brien High School before we sign off. And first up, it's going to be the O'Brien Tigers.
The O'Brien, they struggled all game. It was good to see DeRosa Hampton come out in the second half after he hurt his elbow in the opening kickoff. It did end up with 23 yards rushing. Pierre Luis got thrown for loss a few times. Receiving 3 catches for 15 yards for Williams, the big tight end. And Gilbert threw the ball downfield a number of times, ended up only 3 for 9 for 15 yards.
Let's take a look at the English final stats.
Kerr, our outstanding player, 11 carries, 128 yards, and 3 touchdowns, including that spectacular 67-yard romp. Rosario Diaz, the quarterback, ran 11 times for 86 yards. Receiving, McClure had 2 for 45. Vattel had 1 for 10. Rosario only threw the ball 8 times, completed 3 for 55 yards, but they did not need any passing at all. I mean, they snuck it in there. Matter of fact, one of the big catches turned out to set up the 3rd touchdown. So you use it when you need to, but they'll need it next week. So it's good that they have some practice today.
No question. The one thing you see about this English team, they can attack you in a bunch of different ways offensively. Real quick before we go, O'Brien, like we mentioned all game, they know they're having a down year. They have a lot of young guys, but you saw the fight with this team. You saw some hustle. You saw some aggressiveness out of this O'Brien Tiger football team.
No doubt about that. And I think that you have a backup quarterback who's only a sophomore, obviously not many repetitions until his teammate got hurt. So I'm glad that the O'Brien coaches let Gilbert throw the ball downfield a few times. He was off target, overthrew a couple of them, but the more he does that, the more his confidence will build, knowing he can do it. And it only takes like 1 or 2 plays to complete before you know you're playing better offense, because O'Brien could do nothing on the ground. It was really, really difficult.
No question. We'll see if the Tigers can keep taking those baby steps as a young team here in the Boston City League. Folks, thank you so much for joining us here on Game of the Week. Make sure if you want to watch this game again, you can certainly go to our website, www.cityofboston.gov/cable. Make sure you scroll to the bottom of the screen, click on Game of the Week, and that'll route you to our video library. So check that out. You can also follow us on social media. You can go to Facebook. Go to facebook.com/GameOfTheWeekBoston. Got a lot of good stuff up on our Facebook page, so make sure you like us there. And finally, you can follow us on Twitter at Boston City TV. And if you want to tweet at us, use the hashtag BostonGOW. That's it for us here at O'Brien tonight. Make sure you tune in next week once again. For now, we're going to say so long here from O'Brien High School in Roxbury. We'll see you next time on Game of the Week. Take care, everybody.